Hey everybody, we have made it to week 9. So I don't know if you realize this, but there are 18 weeks in the semester. So this is the halfway point, all right? This is always a good chance to just kind of take a deep breath, check your grade, see how you're doing in this class. And if you're way off from where you need to be, let's say like you have to have a C because you need this to transfer somewhere else and you're not there right now, just look. See what the reason is. Is it the exam grades? Are you missing assignments? Are you missing quizzes? I know those are only 5 points, but if you keep missing them, that can really add up. So look and see what it is. And then if you got any questions, send me a message and let me know. I can maybe hopefully try to give you a tip on how to study better or something like that. I don't like playing this game, but if you need to know what you have to make from here on out to finish with whatever letter grade you're shooting for, I can figure that out for you too. Let's say, like I said, you have to have a C and you're at like a 60 right now. I can real quick just kind of add up and say you're going to have to make a 74. That's probably not the right number, but you're going to have to make this from here on out if you want to finish with a C, right? So like I said, just do a self-check real quick, see how you're doing. Let me know if you have any questions. We still have plenty of time to bring your grade up, but gotta get a move on, okay? Also, a lot of you are doing great, so if you're doing good, awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Still, let me know if you have any questions, okay? So for this week, we are going to watch Chapter 7 is photosynthesis. It's a pretty short lecture. I split it up. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 parts, excuse me, but this is a much shorter lecture than most of them. It's dense, though. There's a lot of stuff that's packed in there, so make sure you are taking really good notes. When you watch the lecture videos, don't have it on in the background while you're checking your phone and watching TV and all this other things. Quality of studying and quality of taking notes is really important, especially for this chapter. All right, and then the next one next week too. You got a review quiz due on Sunday, and then your lab is also on photosynthesis, so everything kind of should be on the same topic this week. This one's kind of neat. You're going to take spinach leaves. You are going to use a hole puncher. I'll go through the material you need in a little bit, but try to round up a hole puncher if you can find one. So we're going to punch disc out of the spinach leaf. You're going to have to follow some instructions to prepare the spinach leaf disc and everything. And then we're going to put it in a water solution with light on it. And we'll have a couple other groups too. But you're going to be able to do a quick activity, sort of quick activity, that's going to allow you to actually observe photosynthesis. You're going to see the spinach leaf make oxygen, and that oxygen is going to make the disc buoyant, and it's going to float up in the water. I like this lab. It's a pretty cool lab. Sorry. So that one is also due on the 18th. It says to give yourself 3 hours for this lab. I would give yourself at least 3 hours, maybe 4 or 5, just to play it safe. I don't think it's going to take that long, and it's not a ton of work. But on this one, there's a step where part of the lab is you're going to prepare those spinach discs. You're going to have them in different groups. And some of them are going to have a light shining on them. Some of them are not. You're going to have to let that experiment play out for about an hour. And really all you have to do is just kind of every 10 minutes check and notice how many of the discs are floating or not. So it's not a lot of work, but you just have to kind of wait for your results. All right, so don't put this off until like Sunday night. Let me give you a heads up too, just to hopefully try to avoid it this time. So please pay attention to this part. I'm aware that there are websites, and I'm halfway regret saying this. There are websites where people take their results and they'll just upload it, and then other students can just kind of pull their results from there. All right. Do not do this. I have done this lab probably like 5 or 6 years or so, something like that. So I know, like, I've got printed out sheets of these are the ones that are uploaded to the internet. If I see your results are exactly the same as someone who posted this lab, 2 years ago on some website, I'm not giving you credit for it, okay? Like, the odds of your results being exactly the same as somebody else's who posted it online that will not happen. Most of those results don't even make sense that are online. So do your own work and you'll get credit for it. I don't care if it didn't work the way it was supposed to. If you will report the results that you did, you'll be fine. Make sure you report your own results. Make sure you write your own answers, okay? If you're pulling data from somewhere else online, or if you're copying answers from somewhere else online, you won't get credit for that. But if you will do your own work, I'm not going to penalize you because the lab didn't work the way it was supposed to, all right? Even when we do these labs in person, they don't always work the way they're supposed to, so I'm definitely not going to penalize you because you didn't have an instructor in the room with you while you were doing it. Okay? All right, so look real quick. You need, it says a desk lamp, and it says a minimum of 60 watts incandescent, like the screw-in bulb, or 15-watt fluorescent. I know there's a lot of, they've changed the wattage on light bulbs, so you might have like a 42-watt halogen bulb. That'll be fine too. Just get one that's about that bright, somewhere in that ballpark. And if you can't find one, if you've got like a lower wattage bulb, just put it a little bit closer, and your results should be okay. All right. It says 10 spinach leaves, so just, go to the grocery store, buy the cheapest spinach you can find. Dish soap, most of this you're going to have paper towels, spoon, things like that. All right, down at the bottom, baking soda. You need baking soda too. All right, down at the bottom it says a single hole paper punch. So you remember the little metal you clamp and it punches a hole in a sheet of paper. There's like 3 hole punches. You can use that too. But something that's going to let you just punch out a circle from the spinach. That's going to be really, really helpful if you can track one of those down or borrow one. Because if not, what you're going to have to do is take a pair of scissors and you're going to have to cut these squares out of the spinach, and you're going to have to do it several times. I think it's like 40 squares you're going to have to cut out. That's going to take a long time, but if you got a hole punch, you can just pop those out real quick. All right. So that's it for this week. Next week is on cell respiration, and then your test will be the following week. So it's a couple weeks away, but it's coming up. Make sure you study chapter 6, 7, and 8. They're really short, and there's not a ton of material, but the material that you do have to know is pretty dense. So you really need to study. But if you do study, exam 3 is usually a really good bounce back test, where if you didn't do as good as you wanted to on exam 2, if you'll really bear down and study, exam 3 should really help your grade out. All right. Need anything? If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.